All right. Hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review, specifically another Survivor Series review, as we are still in the month of November. Now, if you remember many moons ago, during the first awful month, I looked at Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, a match many consider to be one of, if not the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. And do I think it's the worst WrestleMania match of all time? It might be. Honestly, it might be. I normally say not really, but excuse me, in the case of that match, it might be. Granted, it does have some stiff competition, but it very well may be. But after the match, and one of the reasons why it was so bad is because it was both men's last matches. It was Brock Lesnar's last match, and that was Goldberg's last match, at least for the time being, and at least in WWE. But about 12 years later, in 2016, Brock Lesnar at this point has been back for a few years. He came back in 2012, but Goldberg is now back around this time, which is crazy considering he once famously said he wouldn't work for Vince McMahon. He was the last mofo on earth. But now Goldberg is back in the good graces, partially because of 2K. 2K featured Goldberg as the pre-order bonus slash later DLC for WWE 2K17. And so Goldberg, for the first time in about a decade or so, is back in WWE's good graces. And so, it seemed inevitable that these two would clash again. And lo and behold, it was set for Survivor Series Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar one more time at Survivor Series 2016. But what would go down? Let's find out. Now, of course, as always, I am not professional. I'm not a professional wrestling reviewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time. And admittedly, uh, I don't know when it comes to this match, you'll find out why for for a variety of reasons. But let's get into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you can already know how this works. You have an idea of how this works. However, if you haven't, first of all, welcome. Sorry, I smacked my mic there. Also, I did turn up the audio on my mic so I sound a little louder. Let me know how that is. Should I go back to the other volume? But I turn myself up. I feel like I'm too low in certain videos. So let me know how this sounds. I'm gonna listen back to it after I'm done recording here. But nevertheless, if you are indeed new here, I talk about wrestling. I'm very passionate about wrestling, as well as other stuff we do on the channel. But when it comes to these reviews, I normally talk about what I liked and disliked about the match. Now, starting, I guess, with what I liked about the match. It wasn't too long. That's the big thing with this match. This match is essentially a squash. But this time, unlike normal, this time it's Brock Lesnar on the receiving end of the squash. Brock gets squashed in about a minute 26 against Goldberg, which that was a huge shock. It was a huge shock then. It's still crazy to think about, even almost a decade later. Brock literally. Brock is not the type to be squashed. Brock is a behemoth. It's the equivalent of say, hey, Braun Strowman or even Roman Reigns being squashed. Brock is someone who doesn't squash. He does the squashing. He even squashed John Cena on occasion. And so Brock getting squashed by Goldberg, that's a big deal. And that's really insane to think about. But lo and behold, it happened. Goldberg or Brock hits Goldberg in the corner. He picks him up and drops him into the corner, which is the only offense Brock gets all match. Goldberg shoves him down, 2 spears and a jackhammer later, and Brock Lesnar is down and out, and the crowd is in shock over this. It's absolutely insane to think about. For a moment, it really puts over Goldberg as if he needed it. It really puts over how powerful Goldberg is. Having him come in, squash one of the one of the big guys. Like Brock is very much the dominant force. And that's usually how the story goes within WWE. But even especially around this time, like Brock is the one who conquered the Undertaker's streak. He's beaten almost everybody in sight. Brock doesn't get squashed. Brock does the squashing. So having a moment like that, very much a shocker and very much a surprise is to everyone watching. And I remember when I watched this live, it was quite a shock as well. Oh, and I think it accomplishes what the WrestleMania 20 match did not, where it didn't go on for too long. The one of the problems with that match is it went on for way too long, and it didn't help that both guys were getting booed throughout. This one is short and sweet, plays very much to Goldberg's strengths. Rock, at this point in time, capable of putting on a match, but it doesn't always. And Brock does get gassed pretty early in matches, especially around this time. But but so it kind of plays to both men's strengths in a way, and Brock gets absolutely demolished. It puts over Goldberg. Brock is absolutely demolished. It's crazy to think about in terms of the match, and it being so short, kind of a blink and you miss it. If you went up to go to the bathroom, you pretty much missed the whole thing. But Goldberg essentially squashes Brock Lesnar, and having that shock factor, or everybody shocked, the crowd shocked, commentary shocked, Paul Heyman shocked, like everybody absolutely stunned by Goldberg's quick victory. It sends that impact. It does kind of play into their rivalry a bit more, or the rivalry would kind of continue through the Royal Rumble, with Goldberg eliminating Brock rather quickly, and then Brock ultimately getting his win back at WrestleMania 33 the following year. But uh, excuse me, still insane to think about. In terms of what I didn't quite like because it's so short and because it's essentially a squash, not a lot of meat on the bones. This it's not really. If you're looking for a technical masterpiece, you're not going to find it here. Or admittedly, considering who's involved, no offense to either guy, I hey it probably wasn't a given, and this wasn't going to be a test of holds and stuff, which is not what the people wanted to see. They wanted to see that explosive action. It's one of the reasons, among many, why the WrestleMania 20 match didn't work. But sadly, because it's so short, not a lot to work with uh, when it comes to really dissecting this match. Not a lot of meat on the bones, which is ironic for two people who have a lot of meat on their bones. Um, but yeah, so not a lot here in terms of actual substance, but sometimes, as we say oftentimes on the channel, less is more. But in the meantime, that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload videos, you never miss an upload. And I think I am going to turn my mic down slightly because I can see, like, on the little mic gauge that I am kind of peaking, and so hopefully it's not cutting out like crazy. If so, that would kind of suck. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on the match are in my review. Did you like this match? Did you like my review of the match? Let me know. Will I review their match at WrestleMania 33 at some point? I actually do have, I think, a schedule of WrestleMania matches I'm looking at in March of next year. Yes, I try to plan ahead as much as I can, and let me see if it's on the list of matches to look at next year. Uh, it is. Uh, okay. It is not. Okay, so it's not here. But if you want me to add it to the list, if you want me to update the list to have this match, let me know. Hopefully Brock doesn't slip in this match. You didn't think I would address that, did you? Pretty funny moment. And then people have been memeing it like crazy. Brock slipping on Raw on Monday. Hey, pretty funny stuff. And I Botchamania. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.